Antarctica, Earth's coldest, driest, and most mysterious continent. Twice the size of Australia, it's a frozen expanse where the sun vanishes for months and secrets are buried beneath ancient ice. Once just a myth on old maps, it remains a place that resists full understanding, challenging explorers and scientists alike. Ancient maps hint at knowledge of its coastline centuries before its official discovery, raising questions about lost chapters in human history. Modern technology reveals strange magnetic anomalies and forbidden zones, fueling speculation about what lies beneath. Is it all for science, or is something being hidden? Antarctica's blend of ancient lore and modern secrecy makes it a magnet for both scientific inquiry and conspiracy theories. In this documentary, we'll peel back the layers of ice and time, exploring evidence, questioning official narratives, and diving into the most compelling mysteries. From whispers of lost civilizations to secret military operations, every discovery here only deepens the enigma. Join us as we venture into Antarctica's heart, seeking the untold secrets that could rewrite history. Antarctica is more than a place. It's the ultimate frontier, untouched and fiercely protected. Discovered in 1820, it's a land of superlatives, winds over 200 miles per hour, temperatures below -80 degrees Celsius, and a climate that preserves its secrets. Despite the harshness, it's a global hub for scientific research, with nations vying for a foothold. But science isn't the only thing thriving here. Mystery flourishes in the isolation. What really lies beneath the 2-mile-thick ice? Officially just rock and ice, but persistent rumors suggest much more. Why so many restrictions, so much international attention? Some believe Antarctica hides evidence of ancient advanced civilizations. Others suspect modern secrets of immense strategic value. The silence of the ice invites us to look closer. Our investigation begins at the crossroads of fact and theory. Antarctica is a monument to nature's extremes, confirmed as a continent only in 1820, protected by deadly seas and storms. Katabatic winds roar at over 200 miles per hour, and temperatures can shatter steel. Survival here is measured in minutes. Every step outside is a calculated risk. Hidden crevasses and shifting ice make the landscape a deadly trap. This relentless hostility has preserved Antarctica as Earth's last true wilderness. But the same forces that keep people out also keep secrets in. The ice sheet, nearly 3 miles thick in places, conceals 98% of the landmass. What lies beneath? Seismic data offers hints, but we've barely scratched the surface. This hidden world remains one of our planet's greatest unknowns. In Antarctica, almost any discovery is still possible. Officially, Antarctica's been frozen for millions of years, but clues suggest a far more dynamic past. Fossils reveal it was once lush and teeming with life, even dinosaurs. Some theories propose parts of Antarctica were ice-free, much more recently possibly supporting human life. Myths from around the world speak of a lost southern paradise, hinting at a shared memory of a real place. If a civilization existed here, its remains would be entombed under miles of ice, nature's perfect vault. The lack of evidence is exactly what makes the theory so tantalizing. Until we can explore beneath the ice, the idea of a lost Antarctic civilization remains an enduring mystery. If true, it would force us to rewrite the origins of human society and technology. The implications are immense, a missing chapter of history, frozen at the bottom of the world. Antarctica is not just a geographical frontier, but a historical one. Antarctica's modern history is a web of political intrigue and secrecy. After World War II, the US launched Operation High Jump, officially a scientific mission, but its massive scale sparked rumors of hidden agendas. Conspiracy theories claim the operation sought secret Nazi bases, fueled by the mission's abrupt end and cryptic statements from its leader. The Antarctic Treaty of 1959 set the continent aside for science, banning military activity. But why would superpowers agree to demilitarize such a resource-rich land during the Cold War? Some say the treaty hides discoveries too powerful or dangerous to reveal. Strict controls and limited access keep Antarctica under a unique veil of secrecy. Is the treaty about protecting the environment, or protecting a secret? In Antarctica, every answer leads to more questions, ensuring its place as Earth's ultimate enigma. In the sprawling archives of the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, a remarkable discovery was made back in 1929. A dusty, forgotten fragment of a map, drawn on gazelle skin, was unearthed. This was no ordinary chart. It was the work of an Ottoman admiral and cartographer named Piri Reis, dated to the year 1513. At first it was celebrated for its stunningly accurate depiction of the coastlines of West Africa and the Americas. But as scholars examined it more closely, they found something that seemed, well, utterly impossible. At the very bottom of the map, there appeared to be a detailed rendering of a southern landmass, a coastline that bore a striking resemblance to the northern shores of Antarctica. This discovery really sent shockwaves through the worlds of cartography and history. How could this be possible? The continent of Antarctica wouldn't be officially discovered for another 300 years in 1820. The idea that a 16th century sailor could have mapped any part of it was, honestly, revolutionary. But the mystery only deepened. The coastline depicted on the Piri Reis map was not the one we know today, a sheer wall of ice. Instead, it showed a landmass free of its immense ice cap, detailing bays, rivers, and a mountain range. This was not the Antarctica of the 16th century, or even of today. It was a depiction of Antarctica as it might have looked thousands, perhaps even millions of years ago. The implications were, well, staggering, and ignited a firestorm of debate that continues to this day. Mainstream historians and cartographers were quick to offer conventional explanations. They suggested that the landmass was not Antarctica at all, but rather a speculative drawing of the legendary Terra Australis Incognita, the unknown southern land that mapmakers had imagined for centuries. Others proposed that the coastline was actually the southern tip of South America, distorted and bent eastward to fit onto the parchment. These explanations, however, failed to satisfy everyone, as the resemblance to the subglacial topography of Antarctica, as revealed by modern seismic surveys, was just too uncanny to dismiss as mere coincidence. The map itself contains notes written by Piri Reis, who stated that he had compiled his work from numerous older source maps, some dating back to the time of Alexander the Great. He even mentioned using a map captured from Christopher Columbus. This raises a really tantalizing question. Was Piri Reis simply a compiler of ancient knowledge? Did he have access to charts created by a much older, seafaring civilization that possessed a sophisticated understanding of global geography? The map doesn't just challenge the timeline of Antarctic discovery, it challenges our entire understanding of the capabilities of ancient mariners and the history of exploration itself. The most provocative theory to explain the Piri Reis map is that it is a direct copy of information inherited from a long-lost, highly advanced civilization. This idea was famously championed by Professor Charles Hapgood in his 1966 book, Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings. Hapgood, a respected academic, argued that the map was just too sophisticated to be the product of 16th century knowledge. He theorized that it must be based on source material from a prehistoric culture that had mapped the entire globe with incredible precision long before the rise of known civilizations in Egypt or Sumeria. According to Hapgood, this ancient society was likely destroyed by a global cataclysm, but some of its knowledge, including its maps, survived. Hapgood's theory proposed that this ancient civilization had mapped Antarctica when its coastlines were free of ice. He connected this to his theory of Earth crust displacement, a controversial geological hypothesis suggesting that the Earth's entire outer crust can sometimes shift in one piece, moving continents into different climatic zones. A sudden shift could have moved Antarctica to the South Pole, causing it to freeze over rapidly, and wiping out any evidence of the civilization that had mapped it. While the geological theory remains on the fringes of science, the map itself stands as a powerful piece of potential evidence, a ghost from a forgotten age of exploration. Critics of Hapgood's theory point out that the Piri Reis map, while remarkable, is not perfect. It contains significant errors in longitude and scale, which they argue is inconsistent with the work of a super-advanced civilization. They maintain that the Antarctic coastline is more likely a product of imaginative cartography, blending known lands with mythological ones. However, supporters of the ancient civilization theory counter that any errors could have been introduced over centuries of recopying. The core mystery remains. How did the mapmaker depict a landform with such specific features, hidden beneath 2 miles of ice, centuries before anyone knew it was there? Ultimately, the Piri Reis map confronts us with a stark choice. Do we accept it as an incredible series of coincidences and lucky guesses, a footnote in the history of cartography? Or do we entertain the more radical possibility that it is a genuine artifact from a lost chapter of human history? If it is the latter, it means that we are not the first advanced civilization on this planet. It suggests that our ancestors possessed knowledge that we are only now rediscovering with our most modern technology. The map is more than just an old piece of parchment. It is a potential key, unlocking a door to a past far older and more mysterious than we ever imagined. Just 1 year after the end of World War II, while the world was still struggling to find peace, the United States military quietly assembled the largest naval force ever sent to Antarctica. This operation was called Operation High Jump. Task Force 68 was honestly an immense undertaking, a true polar armada. It consisted of 13 warships, including an aircraft carrier, submarines, and icebreakers, along with more than 4,700 military personnel. The official story, at least the one presented to the public, was that this was a scientific training mission. The stated goals were to train personnel and test equipment in frigid conditions, and to establish an American research base called Little America 4. But the sheer scale of the operation seemed to far exceed these modest aims. Many observers, both then and now, have questioned the official narrative. Why send such a massive, combat-ready force to the most desolate and uninhabited continent on Earth? The timing, so soon after a global war, was also, deeply suspicious. This has led to one of the most persistent and compelling conspiracy theories surrounding Antarctica, that Operation High Jump's true purpose was far more sinister. The theory goes that the expedition was not a training mission, but a military operation to hunt down and destroy a secret Nazi stronghold hidden somewhere in the frozen wastes. It was a final, secret battle of World War II, fought in the Antarctic silence. The basis for this incredible claim lies in Germany's own pre-war Antarctic expeditions. In 1938, the Nazis launched a major expedition to a region of Antarctica they named Neuschwabenland, or New Swabia. They dropped swastika-emblazoned flags from their planes, claiming a huge swath of the continent for the Third Reich. According to the conspiracy, the Nazis didn't just claim the territory, they began constructing a secret fortified base, Base 211. This was intended to be a last redoubt, a sanctuary where the Nazi elite and their top scientists could survive the war and continue their advanced technological research, hidden from the world beneath the ice. Proponents of this theory point to captured German documents and post-war interrogations that supposedly reference this secret Antarctic program. Whispers of U-boats making clandestine trips to the South Atlantic at the end of the war added more fuel to the fire. Was it possible that Hitler's regime had successfully established a foothold on the frozen continent? Did they manage to transport personnel, equipment, and advanced technology to this remote location? The official record is silent on the matter, but for many, Operation High Jump was America's response. It was a mission to find this Nazi ghost base and eliminate any threat it might pose to the New World Order. The leader of Operation High Jump was the legendary polar explorer Admiral Richard E. Byrd. He was, really, a national hero. A man who knew the Antarctic better than almost anyone alive. Yet, the mission he led did not go as planned. Despite being scheduled to last for 6 to 8 months, Operation High Jump was abruptly and mysteriously terminated after just 8 weeks. The fleet withdrew from Antarctica in a hurry, far ahead of schedule, leaving a cloud of unanswered questions in its wake. The official explanation cited the early onset of winter and worsening weather conditions, but for an expedition of this size and preparation, this seemed like a pretty thin excuse. Something had gone wrong. Upon his return, Admiral Byrd's public statements were reserved, but his alleged private remarks and journal entries tell a different, more frightening story. According to some accounts, he spoke of encountering a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. In a supposed interview with a Chilean newspaper, he warned of a future conflict with an adversary based in the polar regions. He was reportedly debriefed in secret by military intelligence, and the official logbooks of the operation remain classified to this day. What did Byrd and his men encounter that was so alarming, it forced a massive naval task force into a hasty retreat? Theories about what happened are as vast as the continent itself. The most popular one aligns with the Nazi-based conspiracy, suggesting that Byrd's forces engaged in a secret battle with German soldiers, piloting advanced, disc-shaped aircraft, or flying saucers, developed at Base 211. According to these stories, the American forces suffered heavy losses and were completely outmatched by the superior technology they faced. This secret defeat was then covered up, the mission's failure buried under layers of official secrecy. It's a shocking claim, but one that, honestly, neatly explains the mission's sudden end, and Byrd's cryptic warnings. Other theories venture even further into the unknown. Some believe that what Byrd encountered was not German in origin, but something far older, or perhaps not of this Earth at all. Could the enemy he spoke of have been the guardians of an ancient secret hidden beneath the ice, or maybe an extraterrestrial presence that considered Antarctica its own territory? Whatever the truth may be, Operation Highjump marks a pivotal moment in the mythology of Antarctica. It transformed the continent from a remote scientific curiosity into a place of military intrigue and high-tech mystery, a forbidden zone where powerful forces may still be lurking, waiting in the cold. In the aftermath of Operation Highjump and the swirl of rumors it created, the world's powers took an unprecedented step. In 1959, amidst the escalating tensions of the Cold War, 12 nations, including the United States and the Soviet Union, came together to sign the Antarctic Treaty. On its surface, the treaty was a beacon of hope for international cooperation. It designated the entire continent as a scientific preserve, a place dedicated solely to peaceful research. It explicitly banned all military activities, weapons testing, and most crucially, any new territorial claims. Antarctica was effectively declared a neutral zone, a continent belonging to no one and everyone, governed by science and peace. This monumental agreement, however, immediately raised profound questions. Why would these rival superpowers, locked in a bitter ideological struggle for global dominance, so willingly set aside an entire continent? Antarctica is believed to hold vast untapped reserves of oil, coal, uranium, and other precious minerals, resources that would be of immense strategic value to any nation. To voluntarily renounce the right to claim and exploit these resources seems to run counter to the very nature of geopolitics. The treaty's altruism felt suspicious to many observers, who wondered what could possibly motivate such a historic and seemingly selfless act of global unity. This is where the conspiracy theories surrounding the treaty take root. The most compelling argument suggests that the treaty was not born from a desire for peace, but from a shared sense of fear. According to this line of thinking, the world powers did not agree to stay away out of goodwill. They agreed to stay away because they had discovered something there. Something so powerful, so technologically advanced, or so existentially dangerous that they collectively decided it was better left undisturbed. The treaty, in this view, is not a peace accord, but a quarantine, a global pact to keep a lid on a discovery that could destabilize the entire world. What could this discovery have been? The speculation is, honestly, endless. Some believe it was definitive proof of the Nazi base from the Operation Highjump theories, perhaps with technology far beyond what the Allies could replicate or control. Others suggest the discovery of a functioning alien base, or the ruins of a highly advanced ancient civilization whose technology was still active and potentially hostile. In this context, the treaty becomes a carefully worded cover-up, an agreement to prevent a global panic or an arms race to control whatever secrets lie dormant beneath the Antarctic ice sheet, just waiting. The Antarctic Treaty did more than just demilitarize the continent. It established a new system of governance unlike any other on Earth. The original 12 signatory nations and the consultative parties that joined later became the de facto gatekeepers of Antarctica. Today, over 50 countries are party to the treaty, but a smaller, more powerful group holds the real decision-making authority. This consortium of nations controls all access to the continent. No individual, corporation, or non-signatory nation can conduct any significant activity there without the express permission and oversight of the treaty parties. This creates a powerful and exclusive global club. This level of stringent control is often justified by the need to protect Antarctica's pristine and fragile environment from pollution and human interference. While this is a valid and important goal, the sheer strictness of the regulations has fueled suspicion that the environmental concerns are a convenient pretext. The rules effectively prevent any independent investigation or verification of what is truly happening on the continent. All scientific research is conducted through official channels, and the data is filtered through government-sanctioned organizations. This creates a perfect system for managing information and ensuring that any inconvenient discoveries are kept from the public eye. The secrecy is not just bureaucratic, it extends to the physical landscape itself. Researchers and online sleuths frequently point to satellite images from services like Google Earth that show large, inexplicably blurred-out areas in Antarctica. There are also reports of restricted air zones where no flights are permitted to pass. The official explanations often cite technical glitches or national security concerns related to nearby research stations. However, to conspiracy theorists, these blacked-out zones are hiding places. Digital curtains drawn over locations of extreme interest, such as alleged pyramid-like structures, strange entrances into the ice, or the sites of secret excavations. Ultimately, the Antarctic Treaty has created a paradox. It is an international agreement celebrated for its commitment to openness and scientific collaboration, yet it presides over a continent that remains shrouded in more secrecy and suspicion than any other place on the planet. The governance of Antarctica keeps the questions alive. Is the treaty a noble effort to preserve Earth's last great wilderness for future generations? Or is it the most sophisticated and successful cover-up in human history, an international conspiracy to hide a truth so profound that it would change everything we know about our world and our place in it? The silence from the icy continent is deafening. For decades, scientists believed the ice sheet covering Antarctica was frozen solid to the bedrock below. It was a simple, logical assumption for the coldest place on Earth. But in the 1970s, airborne radar soundings began to reveal something astonishing, something that really should not exist. Deep beneath the ice, the readings showed not solid rock, but the perfectly flat signature of liquid water. It was the first hint of a vast hidden network of subglacial lakes. The most immense of these, confirmed in the 1990s by Russian and British scientists, was named Lake Vostok. It is a body of freshwater larger than Lake Ontario, buried under more than 2 miles of solid ice near the coldest point on the planet's surface. The discovery of Lake Vostok was a paradigm shift in our understanding of Antarctica. This was not just a pond, it was a colossal lake, one of the largest in the world, and it had been completely sealed off from the rest of the planet for an almost unimaginable length of time. Scientists estimate that the waters of Lake Vostok have not seen sunlight or touched the atmosphere for at least 15 million years. It is a pristine primordial environment, a time capsule from a distant geological era. The immense pressure of the ice above keeps the water from freezing, while geothermal heat from the Earth's crust warms it from below, creating a unique and stable yet completely isolated ecosystem. The implications of this discovery were immediate and profound. If life could exist in such an extreme, dark and cold environment, what form would it take? Cut off from the evolutionary path of the rest of the planet for millions of years, any organisms found within Lake Vostok could be entirely new to science. They could be microbial life forms that survive through processes we don't yet understand, perhaps metabolizing minerals from the rock in a process known as chemosynthesis. The lake represents a potential biological treasure chest, holding clues not only to the history of life on Earth, but also to the possibility of life on other worlds, such as Jupiter's icy moon, Europa. The scientific world was electrified by the possibility of exploring this lost world. However, the process of reaching the lake was fraught with peril. Drilling through 2 miles of ancient ice without contaminating the pristine waters below with surface microbes or drilling fluids presented a monumental technological challenge. The Russian team at Vostok Station spent years painstakingly drilling down, stopping just short of the lake's surface for fear of spoiling this unique environment. The project became a slow, careful, intense journey towards a discovery that could redefine the known limits of life itself, a final frontier hidden deep within our own world. As the Russian drilling project at Vostok Station slowly inched its way closer to the hidden lake, strange and inexplicable phenomena began to be reported. One of the most baffling discoveries was a massive magnetic anomaly detected at the southern end of the lake. The magnetic field in this one specific area was intensely powerful, over 1,000 nanoteslas stronger than the surrounding region. Scientists struggled to explain it. Was it caused by an unusually thin crust, allowing the Earth's magnetic field to bulge upwards, or was it the result of a huge deposit of magnetic metals? The anomaly was so strange and localized that it immediately sparked more speculative theories. These theories moved beyond simple geology. Could this powerful magnetic signature be artificial? Some researchers in the fringe community proposed that the anomaly was evidence of a metallic structure buried in the lake's sediment, perhaps the remains of a sunken city from an ancient, ice-free Antarctica. Others connected it to the UFO conspiracies, suggesting it could be a submerged craft or base using the lake as a hidden refuge. While mainstream science rejects these ideas, the magnetic anomaly remains a genuine and deeply puzzling mystery, an unexplained signal broadcasting from the depths of the planet's most isolated location. The mystery only deepened when the drill finally breached the lake in 2012. The first water samples retrieved were analyzed for signs of life. While initial reports were conflicting, subsequent studies have identified the DNA of thousands of species, most of them microbial. Many are known bacteria, possibly from contamination, but some DNA sequences do not match any known organism on Earth. These findings are tantalizing but inconclusive. Are they truly evidence of a unique ecosystem that has evolved in isolation for millions of years? Or are they just fragments of life that have been trapped and preserved in the ice, offering a glimpse of the past rather than a living present? The lake continues to guard its secrets closely. Drilling operations remain difficult, and exploring the vast expanse of the lake with a submersible probe is a technological feat that is yet to be achieved. Lake Vostok remains a place of immense scientific promise and equally immense speculation. It is a world within a world, locked away from our own. The whispers from its dark, ancient waters speak of strange magnetic forces and unknown life forms. They challenge us to keep exploring, promising that the answers we find could change our understanding of biology, geology, and perhaps even our place in the cosmos. In the age of digital exploration, anyone with an internet connection can become a polar researcher. With the advent of publicly accessible satellite imagery from platforms like Google Earth, a new generation of amateur sleuths has begun scouring the vast white expanse of Antarctica from their computer screens. Over the years, these digital explorers have made a series of startling claims, pointing to formations that appear to be anything but natural. The most famous and persistent of these claims is the discovery of what look like massive man-made pyramids. Rising from the ice, these structures exhibit near-perfect symmetry, with four steep triangular faces converging at a distinct peak, uncannily resembling the ancient pyramids of Egypt or Mesoamerica, but on a much grander scale. The most well-known of these formations is located in the Ellsworth mountain range. It is a striking pyramid-shaped peak that has become an icon in the world of Antarctic mysteries. Scientists and geologists are quick to dismiss these claims, offering a straightforward geological explanation. They identify the structure as a nunatak, which is the peak of a mountain that protrudes above the surrounding ice sheet. They argue that the pyramidal shape is a natural result of millions of years of freeze-thaw erosion, where ice carves away at the rock faces, leaving behind a distinctive sharp-edged peak. This process, they contend, can create shapes that coincidentally mimic artificial structures, a simple trick of light and nature. However, for many, this explanation feels insufficient and almost too convenient. The sheer perfection of the structure's geometry strikes them as highly unlikely to be the result of random natural processes. They ask, what are the odds of erosion creating not just one but multiple pyramid-shaped mountains in the same region, all seemingly aligned? Proponents of the artificial structure theory argue that these are not nunataks at all, but the weathered ruins of actual pyramids, built by an ancient civilization that thrived in Antarctica when it was a temperate land. They believe the ice has receded just enough to expose the very tops of these colossal monuments, hinting at a lost city buried beneath. This debate places scientific reason against intuitive pattern recognition. Is this a classic case of pareidolia, the human brain's tendency to find familiar patterns in random data? Or are we seeing the first tangible evidence of a chapter of history that has been completely erased from our collective memory? The pyramids of Antarctica remain a potent symbol of this conflict. They stand as silent, frozen sentinels, either a testament to the strange and beautiful power of natural erosion, or the last remaining monuments of a civilization so ancient that its very existence has been dismissed as myth. The ice holds the answer, but it does not give up its secrets easily. The alleged pyramids are just the beginning of the strange discoveries made through satellite imagery. As online researchers zoom in and enhance publicly available photos, they have compiled a growing catalog of anomalies that defy easy explanation. Among the most intriguing are what appear to be massive openings or entrances leading directly into the ice shelves or mountain ranges. These features often look like perfectly circular or rectangular holes, sometimes with evidence of artificial reinforcement around the edges. They are often compared to giant hangar doors, fueling speculation that they are entrances to vast subterranean bases hidden deep within the continent. Alongside these mysterious openings, satellite images have revealed long, straight lines carving through the snow and ice for miles. These features are unlike the meandering paths of natural glaciers. They appear as deliberate tracks or trenches, sometimes connecting different areas of interest or leading directly to one of the alleged entrances. Scientists typically explain these away as unusual sastrugi, grooves formed by wind erosion, or as artifacts from the satellite imaging process itself. Yet, their perfect linearity and immense scale lead others to believe they are evidence of transport routes or excavation projects, deliberately hidden from view. The list of anomalies continues to grow. Some images appear to show disc-shaped objects half buried in the snow, as if they crashed there long ago. Others reveal what look like staircases ascending mountainsides or massive walls and foundations beneath the ice. Each new discovery is shared across online forums, where it is endlessly debated and analyzed. While many can be attributed to low-resolution imagery, shadows, or natural rock formations, the sheer volume keeps the question alive. Are we really just seeing rocks and ice, or is something more significant being overlooked? This new frontier of digital archaeology has put immense pressure on official sources. Every time a new anomaly is found, scientists are called upon to provide an explanation, often dismissing the claims as fantasy. But this official skepticism only deepens the conviction of those who believe there is a cover-up. They argue that these satellite images provide the very evidence that critics have always demanded: proof that something artificial and ancient is hidden in Antarctica. They believe the eyes in the sky are showing us a truth that those on the ground are determined to keep secret, turning every pixel into a potential clue in the world's greatest unsolved mystery. Beyond all the speculation about lost civilizations and hidden bases, Antarctica holds a truth that is scientifically undeniable and honestly, just as profound. The continent is more than just a land of mystery. It is a meticulously preserved archive of our planet's history. Its miles-thick ice sheet is a time capsule. Each year, new layers of snow fall, compacting the layers below and trapping within them tiny bubbles of the ancient atmosphere. By drilling deep into this ice and extracting long cylindrical cores, scientists can read these layers like the rings of a tree. They can travel back in time, hundreds of thousands of years, and analyze the Earth's climate as it was long before human civilization began. These ice cores are one of the most powerful tools we have for understanding our planet's past. They provide a direct physical record of past temperatures, atmospheric carbon dioxide levels, volcanic eruptions, and even cosmic dust from outer space. This frozen library tells a story of dramatic climate shifts, of ice ages coming and going in natural, cyclical rhythms. It gives us a baseline, a clear picture of how the Earth's systems operate over vast geological timescales. This knowledge is not just academic, it is crucial for understanding the changes we are witnessing today. The ice has chronicled the planet's history, setting the stage for the chapter we are now writing ourselves. But this incredible natural archive also contains a warning. The data retrieved from the deepest ice cores reveals just how sensitive our planet's climate can be. It shows that small changes in atmospheric composition can trigger massive, cascading effects, leading to rapid periods of warming or cooling. The ancient air trapped in the ice shows us precisely what the atmosphere looked like during previous warm periods, and the levels of greenhouse gases we are seeing today are unprecedented in the entire ice core record, stretching back at least 800,000 years. The past is sending us a clear message, a cautionary tale written in ice and air. This is where the mysteries of the past connect directly to our present. If, as some theories suggest, parts of Antarctica were ice-free just thousands of years ago, it implies that the climate can change far more suddenly and catastrophically than mainstream models predict. Could a past civilization have been wiped out by just such an event? The ice cores provide the context for this possibility, showing a history of volatile climate swings. Antarctica is not just a passive record of the past, it is an active participant in Earth's climate system, and the secrets it holds are becoming more relevant with each passing day as we face an uncertain future. The very ice that preserves the secrets of the past is now becoming a harbinger of a dangerous future. The same scientific endeavor that reads the ice cores also measures the continent's health, and the diagnosis is, frankly, alarming. Antarctica is melting. As global temperatures rise due to human-caused climate change, the colossal ice sheets that have been stable for millennia are beginning to awaken. Glaciers that were once moving at a crawl are accelerating, pouring vast quantities of ice into the ocean at an accelerating rate. This is not a distant, abstract problem, it is a process with direct and dire consequences for every coastal city on the planet. The numbers are difficult to comprehend. The Antarctic ice sheet holds about 90% of the world's ice and approximately 70% of its fresh water. If the entire West Antarctic ice sheet were to collapse, a scenario that some scientists believe is now irreversible, it alone could raise global sea levels by more than 10 feet. If the much larger East Antarctic ice sheet also melts, Sea levels would rise by nearly 200 feet, inundating coastal communities worldwide and displacing hundreds of millions of people. The melting of Antarctica is not just a warning light, it is the final alarm bell for our global climate. This impending crisis ties all the mysteries of Antarctica together into one urgent narrative. The secrets of the continent are not just about what might be buried beneath the ice, but about what will be unleashed as that ice disappears. As the glaciers recede, will they reveal the lost ruins that theorists have long searched for? Will the melting expose ancient technologies or strange geological formations? The rapid thaw could potentially solve some of Antarctica's greatest enigmas, but it may come at a catastrophic price. We may finally get the answers we have been seeking, only to find them in a world irrevocably altered by the consequences. In this way, Antarctica forces us to confront our own legacy. It is a land of extremes that reflects the extremes of our own choices. The continent's future, and in many ways our own, is balanced precariously on a knife's edge. The stories of ancient maps and lost civilizations serve as a powerful metaphor. They warn us that civilizations can fall, that worlds can be lost, and that the forces of nature are ultimately more powerful than any human endeavor. The greatest untold secret of Antarctica may be the one that is unfolding before our very eyes, a warning about the fragility of our own world, delivered from the coldest, most remote place on Earth. We have journeyed to the very bottom of the world, a continent of blinding white and profound darkness, of biting cold and burning questions. Antarctica remains a land of unparalleled extremes, a place that seems to exist on the very edge of our understanding. It is a canvas upon which we have projected our greatest fears and our wildest imaginations. From the impossible accuracy of the Piri Reis map to the hurried retreat of Operation High Jump, every layer of its history we peel back seems to reveal not a simple truth, but a deeper, more complex mystery. The continent challenges not just our scientific knowledge, but the very foundations of our accepted history, daring us to believe that our past is far grander and more mysterious than we have ever been told. The questions persist, echoing in the silence of the polar plateau. What did Admiral Byrd and his men truly encounter in the desolate cold? Was it the last remnants of a defeated Third Reich, armed with technology beyond their time? Or was it something else entirely, a force that has guarded the continent for millennia? Why would the world's superpowers, in the heat of the Cold War, agree to set aside a continent rich in resources, effectively quarantining it from the rest of humanity under the Antarctic Treaty? The official explanations feel thin, like a dusting of snow over a deep crevasse, hiding a much more significant truth just below the surface. The treaty itself seems less like a pact of peace and more like an agreement to leave a sleeping giant undisturbed. The land itself seems to conspire in its own secrecy. The satellite images showing perfect pyramids and strange dark entrances in the ice fuel our speculation, providing tantalizing visual clues that something is being hidden from us. Geologists may call them nunataks and imaging artifacts, but to the searching eye, they are the potential ruins of a lost world. The discovery of Lake Vostok, a lost world sealed for 15 million years, further deepens the enigma. With its bizarre magnetic anomaly and whispers of unknown life forms, it represents a biological and geological frontier that promises to rewrite our textbooks. Every new discovery in Antarctica seems to pose more questions than it answers. Ultimately, Antarctica is a mirror. It reflects our innate human desire to explore, to know, and to uncover the truth. It is the final frontier in a world that often feels fully mapped and explained. The continent's enduring allure lies in its refusal to be tamed, to be fully understood. It remains a land of unanswered questions, a place where science and mythology collide. Whether its secrets are born of ancient civilizations, extraterrestrial visitors, or clandestine government operations, they are protected by a 2-mile-thick vault of ice. Perhaps buried beneath this frozen surface lies the complete story of our planet, a chronicle of a world long forgotten by humanity. As the ice melts, Antarctica's secrets may not remain buried for much longer. The continent is at a tipping point, caught between the mysteries of its past and the unfolding crisis of our future. The rising global temperatures threaten to do what no expedition ever could, reveal the continent's hidden face. Will this great thaw finally unveil the pyramids of a lost Atlantean outpost? Will we discover the wreckage of advanced Nazi aircraft or the entrances to a hollow Earth? The possibilities are as vast and captivating as the continent itself. We may be on the verge of answers, but they might come at the cost of a global catastrophe, a deluge unleashed by the very secrets we seek. This brings us to the ultimate question, the one that lies at the heart of every theory and every debate. What do you believe lies beneath the ice? Is Antarctica simply a continent of rock and ice, its mysteries nothing more than natural formations and the products of overactive imaginations? Is it a place where pareidolia, our tendency to see patterns in randomness, has run wild, fueled by the isolation and the stark alien landscapes? Or do you believe that the sheer volume of evidence, from ancient maps to modern military cover-ups, points to something more? That the official narratives are a carefully constructed facade to hide a truth that would change the world forever? The truth, whatever it may be, continues to elude us, locked away in the planet's coldest vault. The continent remains a land of profound duality. It is a vital laboratory for understanding our planet's climate, and a hotbed of conspiracy. It is a symbol of international scientific cooperation, and a zone of impenetrable military secrecy. It is a window into our distant past, and a terrifying omen for our immediate future. Antarctica forces us to confront the limits of our knowledge and to question the reality we have been presented. It challenges everything we think we know about our planet, our history, and our place in the universe. The story of Antarctica is far from over. It is a narrative that is still being written, in scientific journals and on the furthest fringes of the internet. New discoveries will be made, and new theories will emerge. The final chapter may lie with the secrets that are still frozen, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. Perhaps the greatest truth is that Antarctica is the final frontier of belief, a place where the line between what is real and what is possible becomes beautifully and terrifyingly blurred. The secrets are out there, waiting in the cold. The only question is whether we are ready to find them.